Here we go. Live TV, right? And it looks fine. I see delay 1 second. And welcome back, everyone, to the Mechanics Institute Tuesday Night Marathon. I'm Abel Talamantes, chess director of the Mechanics Institute, though I am in San Jose in the heart of Silicon Valley with bad internet service. But I think we are back and running just fine. And joining me are Grandmaster Nick DeFermian and FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. The timing was really bad for the end of that round. We did see Gadir pull it off and close the show. And so now we are in round 4, and the games have started. And on board 1 is Josiah Stearman playing white against Gadir Gusainov. And here it is. Stearman, former student of Gusainov. How does it look to you guys? Welcome back. And thank you, everyone, for sticking with us. Hopefully, no more surprises.
It's been a strange internet day, so.
Oh, yeah, for you. And Nick was having issues during the arena. Lost a couple of games on time because there was a lag. So yeah, it's just a cursed day for the mechanics staff with the internet. But looks like we're good for now, and it'd be nice if everything stayed good, because we got some great matchups. Not just this board 1, but board 2 is a rematch from the match of the tournament in the last TNM. Max Kadashilovic and Brian Escalante doing battle again on board 2. And there's the game.
Oh, so we have two sort of King's Indians.
Yeah, this one was from a Benko Gambit.
Yeah, well, same thing.
Is it?
In my brain.
And then just to go through the board 3, Kyron Griffith and Eric Hahn, Micro Bear. They are going at it.
So I guess Kyron won his game.
He did win his game. And in a...
But didn't...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Didn't look like he was going to win, but he pulled that one out.
Yeah.
Did pull it off. And just in another game, there's other games we're following, but another interesting one is Jonah Bush taking on Elliot Winslow. Jonah pulled off an upset of Elliot a few TNMs ago. Looking to do it again. But back to board 1, since this is the marquee matchup.
Jonah knows his openings.
Yeah, he's
so Black's going to lose a pawn, maybe.
Yeah, he can kind of save the pawn with knight h5.
And then pawn to d3.
Yes, and if bishop to f2, pawn to d3, you can get the... But that even loses the a pawn at the end. Maybe Gadir doesn't care. He gets an open file.
Hey, Black was going to play knight f4 and f5 or something like that.
I mean, Gadir always plays such action chess, but in a way, his style reminds me of Josiah, but a little more sound, I'd say, but always stuff happening, action, tactics.
Right. And very, very precise calculation too. At least that we've been privy to.
And just want to say one more time, thank you for everyone for staying tuned with us. Hopefully, no surprises. We got some exciting games for this round, or exciting matchups for sure. So hopefully, we can catch the rest of round four. But I can say that from the broadcast view, everything does look fine. Delay says 1 second, which it should be. It was saying 71 seconds when we were having the issues before. So
Unacceptable.
unacceptable in Silicon Valley. So Bishop F2.
So what does black do here? These, I mean, C5 might not be such a weird move here. This takes a knight d4, takes en passant, and then plays knight takes d4, and black doesn't seem to have anything. C6 is hanging. Maybe black has to play differently than that. Knight f4, f5.
Yeah, maybe knight f4, and then we're threatening the g pawn.
What about pawn d3? Well, that just gives away a pawn in another way, right?
Well, you do get your b2 pawn back, so you could just do that.
Yeah. That might be the thing to do if knight f4 is not... If knight f4, white could castle, I suppose.
Here immediately just gives it up, opening the long diagonal. I guess black can't have any problems after this.
Yeah, so, I mean, Hosea opens with the d pawn. That's unusual. He must have had this prepared.
Yeah, I have no doubt he anticipated this matchup.
Yeah, and also that this is, you know, Guseinov's pet line with black.
And we'll keep an eye on this game. But let me go to board two. This is the position with Kadashilovic and Escalante Ramirez.
Yeah, they had an incredible game their last encounter.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it looks like they're gonna have a fighting game in this round.
Yeah, one of those Benko Benoni kind of positions.
All wide open.
And I remember the last game; it looked like Max had Brian on the ropes, ready to knock him out, and then Brian just turned it around in spectacular fashion, and then ended up getting him tied for first.
Yeah. Well, what is Max is known as the hammer?
The axe.
Max the axe, that's
Max
right.
the axe.
Man, that's a great moniker.
That's
It really is.
I actually messaged him. I've said, hey, I see online you go by the axe. Like, is that what you go by? He's like, yeah, I did. I did a blitz, and they started calling me that. I go, can we use it? Are you okay with it? He's like, yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah, I mean that's like about the most intimidating name you can think of,
yeah.
almost.
And nobody wants an axe coming at him, right?
Here comes Max the
It's
axe.
like, man, I don't
Sounds like
want that axe coming at me. Back to board one.
Just a calm retreat.
So here we get into strategic
Wow.
play. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's of course the move Hosea.
I know. Were we joking around? It's like, oh, he's not going to do like H4 against Gadir, right? And there you have it. Not castled, h4.
I guess he's not interested in like a positional struggle by castling or something. Instead, it's,
No, you got to go after.
you know. Well, I mean, doesn't look like White's really got enough yet for a kingside attack, but we'll see.
Yeah, but you're like you're dirtying up the water right here, right? With that move. You're trying to create
The
chaos.
knight can come to f4. It's risky. It's risky for White to play like this.
Yeah, I'm not sure h4 accomplishes that much.
Yeah.
Knight f4 because yeah, you're not checkmating him.
Yeah, usually it's the white king that ends up in trouble in the middle of the board in these positions. That's what usually happens. But you got to admire the move, h4. It's right up Hosea's alley. I think it's maybe not the
And
right move.
look at this position with Jonah Bush and Elliot Winslow.
So Jonas sacrificed a piece to get here.
Yeah, and going back, this is
Leaving black with a choice of rook e5 or a queen d5. Huh. So queen d5 gets both pawns back, and black should be completely even there, I would imagine. Or he could try rook e5. What do you think, Nick?
Okay, so rook e5 is the complicated way because knight e5, queen e5 looks just good for black. So rook e5, bishop f4 pinning.
Knight h5, bishop h2.
Yeah, somehow that ought to be, quite okay for black too.
Black can end with queen d5.
But yeah, rook takes c5 is the better winning attempt. Things that go wrong, but
Yeah, things can go wrong.
things could also go right when you
Right.
have the dark squares or up material.
we'll see what Elliot does here. Checking in on Kyron Griffith and Eric Hahn.
And this was this dragon without the queen.
Oh.
They took the fun out of it.
So this is interesting. e5, huh? Wow, if black can navigate this, he's going to be better structurally, probably.
Bishop c6 keeps pawns even.
Yeah, and black should have a good game after that, I think.
All those white pawns just rushed up, but they leave some hole in their wake.
So bishop c6 takes on d6. I mean, black could also just take on d6 there, probably should.
Although, what's wrong with bishop takes f3?
Take on e7.
e8?
Yeah,
Forking
that's,
the rooks.
yeah, wins the exchange,
And let me jump over to board one because
I guess.
we
Yeah.
actually we got happenings in the top two boards, but here's where we're at right now with Guseyanov and Josiah Stearman.
Well, Josiah's getting the position that he wanted, you know. A lot of blood and guts.
That's
That's the position he wanted. uh,
What happens after knight takes d6?
that is the question. That's the very juicy pawn that you'd love because you're coming to f5 with the knight. Um, yeah, let's try to find it. But knight takes g6. What's the big move? Um,
Played.
Bishop takes g4 doesn't look that strong. That white king seems kind of safe on f1. So
Yeah, I mean, you can play bishop c3, check king f1, but then what? b6? Just bishop d7, huh?
yeah, he did that so quickly too. It's,
It's the mystique, the Gusiev mystique. This is one of those
and it just
two
must.
plus two equals five positions.
That's like advanced level math or what?
Well, that's what Tal said, that, he tries to play positions where two plus two equals five. And that's kind of what Black is doing here, I think, in some way, or trying to do.
Well, while we're following this, look at this on board two with Kadashilovic and Escalante. Yep. Hey, Alexi. Tal quote, as Paul alluded
Wow,
to.
this has gone well for Black, huh? I think.
Okay, we are back. Alexi's joined us again.
Yeah, it's like we're back now. Now that Alexi's back in the chat, it's like, okay, everything's right. Everything's good now. All is good.
Black's regained their pawn.
And very active.
Position.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think Max is in trouble here.
And Abel may have spoken too soon.
Yeah, no kidding. Are you seeing what I got?
Yeah, spinning thing here. I just refreshed my page.
Yeah, me
But
too.
okay. And now it's
But
well,
I can see that
right after all is good.
all is good. Yeah,
We're
all
gonna
is
have
good. That's the famous last words. It's like everything is perfect, right? Everything is
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. No clue. No idea. Yep. Yeah, we'll probably make a decision on this here, but like I'm not seeing that this will work because on the OBS I see that it's in the red. Okay, now maybe now. Yep, yep.
Okay.
And I think we're back.
I think so.
But in my area here, for some reason,
Just refresh your page.
yeah, refresh your page
Yeah.
now because it works now. But in my area here, there is some net issues. San Jose, Willow Glen area of San Jose. So
Probably having a wild fox chewing on the cables.
and it happens sometimes. And actually, if you follow in the Tuesday Night Marathon thing like the time, we had uh, you know we've been able to run it just fine without any issues, but for whatever reason, we're having internet issues.
Maybe it was a rabbit.
It's a fox, or a hound, the fox or the hound. So who
Well,
knows?
okay, so Max and Brian are locked in a complicated struggle. What else is going on?
Well, let's go back to board one now. Uh,
I was looking good for Josiah. Then again, as soon as you say things are looking good, trouble arises.
yeah, and the one thing that I am noticing um, is because I'm watching the Twitch stream, there is a delay. I'm gonna try to refresh again.
Maybe you need some rabbit ears on top of your computer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to go back to the days where there we go. I refreshed again. I think that would help everyone if you just hit refresh, because now it is back. I'm actually going to switch games as a test. I'm going to go back to Brian's game, and I'm
Yeah, we're
gonna,
doing fine.
well,
Or we were.
let's see. Yeah, we're doing all right. So I'm going back to Gadir and Josiah. It seems like we're doing all right, and there we go.
Now that B6 is a calm move.
Einstein
Yeah,
moves.
you tend to think, okay, it can't be too good for black if he's just going beast.
Why did Hosea play King F1? Is that hesitancy? Maybe should have started just snatched another pawn. Rook B7 or something.
Maybe. There's things like bishop a4 hitting the queen, and if the king's on e1, queen takes a4, knight takes g3 is check.
Yeah. Yeah, rabbit ears. So now Hosea's in the a little bit in the defensive situation.
So
what do you do if you're white here?
Yeah, I was going to say, if just knight f5, you're just trying to block out black, and now bishop h4 is a threat. So if he has to go bishop takes h f5, can take with the e pawn, and all right, it sure looks like you're a clear pawn ahead, because e takes f5, bishop h4 is again a threat.
Queen f6, intending queen c3.
Okay, but then maybe just set that bishop on e4, block out everything. If queen c3, you have rook c1. You just defend and say, I'm a pawn up.
Right.
Right?
Well, maybe he's going to try to play bishop h4 first.
Yeah, that may force
Then black will play bishop takes e4 or something.
yes. Bishop h4, bishop takes e4, bishop g5, bishop takes d3 check. Oh, that's just great for black.
But bishop h4, bishop e4, maybe white could play bishop e4, but then queen e5. Huh.
And
Keep the pawn.
and check out these other games. The Kadashilovic Escalante game, there's been a lot of exchanges. Now we're at this position.
One of those Benko end games.
Yeah,
White
just
might be losing his B pawn.
it's just clearly better for black. Question if white could hold on.
And then look at Kyron's game against Eric Hahn. Kyron's offered a draw, actually, in his game.
Ah, a good offer, but a bad position.
I mean, rook E5 now. And if bishop C8, you can play rook G5, bishop B7, rook B5 check. It looks to me like black is winning or close to it.
Hence the draw offer. And Eric's playing on. Rook
Yeah,
E5.
you have to play on in this position. That's a very strong move, I think.
All right, back to board one. We'll keep an eye on those games.
Yeah, somehow it's a terrible position that Karen has, but I don't think he's going to lose.
Yeah, he's pretty resourceful himself. That's for sure.
Okay, so black now is playing, ready to play king G7 and rook H8 and H5 and blow open the doors on the king.
Yeah, this is a pawn down. Just the deer is going to have to work.
Swindle time, says Alexi.
I don't know. I mean, black has a clear. Oh, okay. So white's going to play bishop H4, forcing the queen back to G7. But what's white going to do to improve his position?
Well, let me put the bishop on E4. I just want to do that. I
Yeah.
want to keep it solid. And then also that knight is kind of stranded then. So
Kyron's going to need a good swindle. I mean, he's playing a strong player.
yeah, no, it's but Kyron has ideas like even if the rooks get traded, maybe he can get a pass pawn on the queen side with that bishop.
And just moving over to that game for reference. He hasn't moved yet after rook E5.
This just looks really bad. White has to make counterplay against the queen side. Like rook D1 and rook D7 or something like that.
No, it legitimately it shouldn't work. That's true. You're right. Legitimately, it must be lost for white.
So what about that? Rook D1,
We take the G5 pawn,
rook D7.
and you want to play bishop to E6.
Well, that too. Yeah.
So maybe we throw in knight to F4.
Bishop C8.
And already you're getting your pawn back, huh? Well, wait a minute. Wasn't your rook on d7?
Oh, rook d1, rook g5. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Oh, c4. Okay. Now, if rook takes g5, bishop
Bishop
c8,
c8.
and
And there's your swindle.
well, if he can get a pass pawn on the queen side, I could. There's your swindle potential.
Yeah.
Black knight's way over on the rim on the h file.
So can black can take time off and play b6 and a5 or a5 and b6? Of course, then the white rook is going to try to swing in. Somehow there should be a way to solidify the black situation. Maybe.
And jumping back to board one, f6 played by black.
So black's going to play. I mean, white needs to be ready to play pawn to d6 or something. He's going right after that f4 knight. Well, black can just support it by queen c7, but he needs to get that rook out of the way first. And he's got to watch out that his h pawn doesn't hang. Black might be in a little bit of trouble.
Just Josiah down to 8.5 minutes.
But what about black plays bishop d6 and if bishop g3, queen g5? What can
Yeah.
white do in that position?
He's really going for a solid black square blockade.
Yeah.
Yes, when bishop g3 happens, queen to g5, and so Josiah could repeat the position. So I don't think Kadir's going to win this game. With like when the queen comes back to g5, the bishop comes back to h4, queen retreats, bishop retreat.
That's a nice dynamic move. Maybe black will sack the exchange on e4.
Okay. He wants to go bishop e3. And bishop e3, queen
Will
g5
threat.
doesn't work because of rook h5.
Well,
Yeah.
it might though. Black can still play knight h5, rook. Oh no, bishop g5, knight g3 check.
Oh, Paul, very nice.
But Gadzir's position's hanging by a thread. I predict black plays pawn h5 here.
Well, then bishop e3. The knight.
Oh yeah, bishop e3 there. Yeah. And then if queen
g5 or g5, I guess. Rook takes h5, knight takes h5. Oh, it's that queen sack. Bishop takes g5. I don't think it's a great queen sacrifice.
it just shows that Gadzir's in trouble, maybe.
Well, has he ever lost a game on the Tuesday night marathon, Evil?
I don't know. No. Matter of fact, other than like GM draws, only Alan Finkelstein during the Donaldson drew him, and that was one that Allen should have won actually.
Right.
But he made some slip ups.
So what's this? What's the um, what about Queen C7, Rook H6, King G7?
Oh, now that's a
Just
good one.
just give up the H pawn.
Oh, yeah, now that's really good. Why sacrifice one pawn when you can sacrifice two?
Yeah, I mean, what you use the maybe start off with bishop to D6 so you don't allow white to play D6.
Yes, bishop t6, and you could be looking for some exchange sacrifice.
Yeah, and so bishop D6 and then yeah, and then the queen can go to C7. You let white take the H pawn, and then you play King G7, and you can play Rook H8 and go on the attack. I don't know.
Interesting and very complicated, but
And,
it
and Michael Walder's drawn his game with Jeffrey Wang.
Okay, how's Elliot doing?
Looks like they just agreed to a draw. This is the position. Yeah, Elliot and wow,
Grandmaster draw, if ever I saw one.
looks like Elliot's going to be up a pawn here.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Even Rook A3 won't defend for long.
because of pawn to b5, pawn to b4, chasing the rook away.
It's kind of funny. So what about? I mean, we're so used to the pass A pawn. The pass B pawn must give slightly more chances for the for black here, right?
Oh yeah, those a pawns are miserable because the
Right.
the king gets stuck in them. As just happened to who did that happen to? Eric Hahn, Eric Lee.
For
Uh,
which
Um,
So black is definitely in the driver's seat here. I mean, is this a win? What is it? Is this a sort of a theoretical win or close to it? The white rook is so active.
well, and
Check and pawn to B3 or something, and then bring the king over.
well, still not easy, but
Yeah.
we put our faith in the old chess master.
What else is What else is happening?
Well, yes, Alexi says in Kyron's. Are, did Kyron actually get some good swindling chances?
Yeah, what's going on in
yeah,
Kyron's game?
moving over to that game, Judith and I dealing with an issue in another game. So sorry about that. What do you think? This is live.
Live from downtown San Francisco. Well, black didn't take the pawn at G5 and took the pawn at C4 instead. Took the
That
double pawn on C4.
seems very sensible.
But now, how does black make progress?
Well, you could just save your pawn with pawn to b5 or pawn to b6.
Sorry.
Chiron's facing an uphill struggle here.
Yes.
Down a pawn.
Let's check board 2. We hadn't checked for a little bit.
And what's happened to piece sacrifice?
White tried to get out of his troubles with the piece sack. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense here. I mean, if you get the f4 pawn, you'll have 3 pawns for the piece. Guess you don't give him the f4 pawn.
Right.
Tough.
It's tough, but you imagine that black should be winning, should have good chances here.
Wow, look at this game here. This is Rui playing white against Ashik Uzman.
Well, white's going a piece up after taking and making a queen, right? Taking the knight. This is completely hopeless for black.
Yeah, Rui on her way back to board 1. Look at the congestion. This is like traffic.
Yeah, how's Stearman's game going?
Yeah.
Also, black has actually managed not to lose the H pawn.
Well, maybe black's just planning to blockade. Oh no, he may be wanting to push it.
Yeah, here comes white's king getting caught in the center, like I predicted so many years ago.
Daniel Perlov apparently he's asking if anyone's going to Vegas this year for the National Open, I'm assuming.
Thinking about it.
Lots and lots from the mechanics community will be there. I'll tell you that.
Suddenly, I don't like white here. And black seems to have more dynamic potential.
And
Well, could you go king to f2, and if pawn to h5, the rook on b to b1?
Yeah.
Stearman under 4 minutes.
So white's going to go king f2 and rook h1. And black goes h5 anyway.
Oh, okay, the game is getting critical.
Yeah.
But
Somehow this is not what Hosea needs with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Okay, but maybe it works for him. Can he just go king to f2? And so he can get that rook on d1 into play, getting it to h1. Because I don't think black can take. Oh, he did it. Pawn takes on g4, rook g4 check, and bishop takes f4. That looks like Jim.
Black play knight takes d5 here and bishop g3 check.
Okay, interesting.
Or knight g6? No.
Oh wow.
Oh, similar idea. He doesn't open the D file though.
Knight d3 check. Played so quickly. Is that really oopsie? I mean, white can go to g2.
Yes, I would have chosen G2, but
Now knight b2. Really, I doubt if that's a good move. But either knight will just go back to f4 and they'll agree to a draw. He was just testing Hosea with that knight d3 check.
well, he might change his mind. Go knight D3, check king E2, knight B2, as you suggest.
Could that really be any good?
Well, working on the C4 and A4 pawn.
Hosea's down to a minute and 2.5 minutes.
He'd welcome a repetition, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, White's king needs to stay on the second row because giving black doesn't want to give black time to play h takes g4 before those rooks can get into the game.
Oh wow, he did not. Check that out. Knight B2.
Yeah. He
He
wants
played
to
my
win.
move. I can't believe it.
Uh-huh. Well, is it good?
Well, it was my idea, so probably not.
As Nick predicted, Alexi in the chat.
Probably
So
rook C1 is forced.
Just check this out from real quick in Kyron's game.
this is very dramatic here. Kyron's getting his attack on the f7 pawn.
Yeah.
Is that man a swindler or what?
He got away with it.
Yeah, but
Well, he's gonna lose that G5, right?
yeah, it's not that clear. And actually, White doesn't even have a great discovered check, does he? After
No, everything.
bishop f7, knight g5, maybe h4. No, 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 no. No.
But let's go back to board one because stuff's
Actually,
happening.
there's some possibilities there with h4.
Oh, complications.
A minute 11 left for Josiah.
All right, well, rook g7 check is a huge threat. Maybe Gadir is overplaying his hand here. Rook h7. I don't know. The other white rook is ready to come back into the game now. This is very dangerous.
He just runs away.
Oh, look at that. keeping so much tension in this position. It's incredible. I
Oh, but
mean,
Josiah's under a minute. It's tough to play this
Wow,
position.
40 seconds.
and there's that white king in the middle of the board.
So he just
The
makes a move.
consequences of H4, A5, opening up a new front. Of course.
So now we're going to see, Josiah plays bullet a lot. So I think we're going to see bullet skills here, but he's going to have to do it against a GM now because he's under 20 seconds.
Oh, it's so tough to play this.
Yeah, so rook A1, does this work? Knight C4. Is there a mate
Rook G7?
there? Bishop takes A1. Queen B8 defends the back row. D6.
Oh, look at that trick. Rook A8, right?
Now knight takes C4 happens.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to.
Doesn't gel, huh?
Yeah, something got.
You've lost the exchange. It's resignable. 7 seconds left. Yes.
Yeah, wow, good deer. Pulls it off.
Wow.
Once again.
Once again, yeah. Fantastic. Close.
I think he must have been in trouble if Josiah had had more time.
So we're looking at Max Kadashilovic and Brian Escalante.
Yeah, Gusenev is something special, huh?
Plays great chess.
Well, White's probably not got a draw here.
Yeah, he just.
Yeah, he's just losing his pawns now. Well, it's a little difficult for the black bishop to go. Could go back to B2 and then to E5. White's got some outside possibilities, right?
Yeah, quite outside.
Black can just play King F8, B5, and then the bishop can go back to D6. So I think White can resign probably.
Fortunately, he won't. He'll at least play on, entertain us a little longer.
Brian is quite the player too.
And check out this position with Rui. She got the win. The position speaks for itself. Congrats to Rui.
Yeah.
Checking in on Kyron Griffith.
C6 check. Go UT Dallas. Go Brian. I like that picture of the mechanics you put up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Inviting image for people to come back to the club.
I was hoping so. I mean, you come to the Mechanics Institute. That's just half the room right there, and that's just the main chess room. We have the chess annex with a lot of pictures and history, and then our office, and a lot to see there. I hope a lot of people watching this, if you haven't been to the Mechanics Institute, you got to come down and visit. And I know a lot of people watching that can't wait to get back into the Mechanics Institute, because this event on Tuesday night would normally be played live in that very room with DGT boards and we would still be doing the broadcast as we were doing before the pandemic. So we're looking forward to getting back and doing our Tuesday night marathons live in that very room right there.
Sacrificing Crush is asking if he should play 9 games or 7 games in Vegas. Oh, World Open. What? That's happening at the same time?
No, it's either or. Do you play
Oh,
Vegas 7 games under 18, or do you play the World Open 9 games under 1900?
Why not both?
can Black King get over to the queen side in time? Probably.
Yes, but that white king's close to the pawns after the bishop starts harassing it.
Yeah.
Bishop a6.
B4, King A4. What's going on here, Black?
Can White win this?
Just
There's
look
the
at
possibility.
look at the player playing white.
Tough. He's going to be end up putting some pressure on Eric.
Now, Black maybe didn't think this out too clearly.
Check this position out.
I don't think Black was winning there.
Max with 24 seconds left. Back to Kyron, keeping an eye on these games.
Bishop C5, B7, Bishop A7.
Yeah, take on b5.
And then Black's got like 2 ways to play. Black won't be able to do anything unless he takes that H2 pawn. Shouldn't White play Bishop B5 here?
Certainly looks like the best move. Yes.
Knight D4, King A4, Knight C2, King A5. That should be a draw at least for White, right?
Yes. There's danger with that A pawn.
And Black can't engineer a win just with well, knight and 2 pawns versus 1.
How's the time? Time's down to the wire.
Down to the wire.
Yeah, tough.
Speaking of down to the wire, Max is trying to negotiate this position with 11 seconds left on his clock.
Well, this is
Looks like it's lost in any case.
well. I mean, I think I see what he's worried about. He's worried about White playing King takes H6 or something like that. Can the White King get all the way over to G6?
I don't see how that could work for white.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to think because he has 11 seconds. He's not calculating, just plain on intuition.
And back to this game here. This Kyron is under 30 seconds.
So he wanted to keep 2 pawns. Aaron wanted to keep winning chances. What a move. He didn't even go for the A pawn.
Yeah, that's a bizarre move. King C4. That almost looks like a misprint. He's going to play King D4 and then run the C pawn up. Interesting. But black can bring the knight back to C5. Right?
Yeah, I somehow think he should have just taken on B5 right away than throwing in that H3 move. Now Karen's clearly playing for the draw.
I mean, black can probably win the C pawn now by force. This is looking bad for white.
Take one of his miracles to get out of this one.
Yeah. That's
Knight
tough.
C7.
That's tough right there.
Knight C7 just wins a pawn, another pawn.
A4. Could have gone A4.
Should be a win for black, I think, but it might be tricky, right, Nick?
It certainly looks like a
Threatening that. Black should play A4 now. That
Look
should
at
win.
that knight defending
Everything.
G6. Fantastic. And nice win by Eric Hahn.
Yeah.
Very nice win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe that might be all the games. Actually did not have the Google spreadsheet up, but I think all the games should be done. Would that be correct? And
How did Roy do? How did Roy do in her second game?
oh, she won. We had the position up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And Chelsea?
that game I didn't have, and I don't. Let me pull up the Google sheet though, just so I can see. Chelsea was playing David Askin. So let me look that up.
And Elliot won a rook ending, right?
Against Jonah Bush. Yeah.
Elliot's saying we're not paying him enough attention.
Yeah, well, you got to make exciting games. I was looking at your game and, just rook and pawn endgame. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? I mean, I can't.
Bored us to death
I
over
can't
there.
turn that into a monster movie, right? That's not Predator or Aliens.
That's a criterion. Yeah.
I need a game to look like Predator or Aliens.
Or
Right?
Godzilla.
Godzilla, right? Or Goodfellas. I mean that's what I need. Not, rook and pawn.
You don't have to understand anything.
I need like Schwarzenegger or Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. Looking at the Google sheet. Total destroying the purity of the game here. Chelsea lost to David Askin in that round.
Okay.
Eric Lee drew Pranav Satish, which wish I could like see that game. It looks like there might be one game outstanding. Chess P123. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Probably one of those games with 6 queens.
Look at this. Yeah, well, says something like that. There we go. This is the
Close
last
to a
game.
stalemate.
I think black has a chance to win the game at this
Oh,
point.
bishop.
Look at that.
Make another bishop.
There's like 2 white squared bishops.
Made a knight.
And black is the one that's in time trouble. They definitely want that knight to be a part of it. There we go. Nice little win there. Not quite sure. Although it looks kind of funny with the 2 bishops on the same color. Hey,
Yeah.
Elliot rooting for the stalemate.
So were we.
Teach him a lesson. Yeah, so was I. Everybody was teach 128 moves this game. I mean, I'm going back to like at 99. Yeah, it was like way over already. At 82, it was like sort of close. But anyway, that was it. That was the last game of the round. Yeah.
And so it's Gadir is in the lead again. Anybody tied with him?
Gadir is in the lead. I do not believe.
4-0.
I think he's 4-0 all by himself. I'm just waiting for the update.
Yeah.
But he should be 4-0 on his own because Escalante drew with Michael Wang, I believe.
That's right.
if
That's
I'm
right.
remembering. So I think he's the only 4-0 player. Because the other perfect score was Max, who just lost. So Eric Hone is going to be at 3.5, and Brian Escalante at 3.5.
And okay, so who's at 3?
3, it's going to be Elliot Rui, David Askin, and that is it. You can believe that. Yeah. Incredible. Waiting for and there it is. The updates are in. I'll just put it in the chat. And there it is. And see if we can put it up ourselves here. Chess room. The standings. And let me see. Let me fix. So we can open this up and share it with the world. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn some of our cameras off so we can show it. And there is the current standings in the top section. Gadir Gusainov, the sole perfect score there, 4-0. And then Brian Escalante, Eric Hahn, at 3.5. Josiah Stearman at 3, along with Elliot Winslow, Rui, Max, and David Askin. So there you have it, and you see the rest. And then in the under 1800s
Tough section. Wow.
in the under 18
Very tough.
1800 section. Shoot.
This is a strong TNM. Very strong.
Whoops, I messed that up a little bit. There we go. Sauce Jacobian at 3.5 with Ivan Zong. Interesting game they played in round 4 there. And then Joshua Lamstein beat Sebi Suarez in round 4. So he's at 3 along with Nicholas Brown, Ethan Sun, Sebi.
And these are USCF ratings we're looking at, right?
Correct. USCF ratings. Rajtilak, Jagannathan with 3, and Anton Bobkov also with 3. 3 out of 4. So tough games. So the 2 players with 3.5 will not be playing each other in the final 2 rounds. So let's see how they do with the other tough competition that they have in the rest
Nicholas
of
Brown.
Yeah. And he just joined up today, too.
Nice.
So
he's one of the club regulars.
Yes.
Yeah. And we are back. Let me just move that over, and there we go. Well, what an evening. We had glitches and, thinking on our feet and great matches. And just thank you all for sort of sticking with us and following us. It's live TV. Every now and then it's going to happen, but I'm glad we were able to finish off the round with no issues.
And some high-level chess.
Yeah, and some entertaining games, entertaining chess. And as always, thank you to Dr. Judith Stare in the back room, pairing up all the games and updating the results and doing all that. And we were working on a couple of issues in the back that we're still going to be working on through the week.
And I want to personally say thank you to Judith for dealing with some correspondence on my behalf as well. So
yeah, she does everything. She's like the Swiss Army knife.
Everything.
Yeah, so
Swiss Army.
It's the Swiss Army knife that can also deliver blows. So she does it all.
Right.
Judith is a star, says Mike Walder in the chat. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what we would do without her. I'm glad she's on our team. So the Swiss Army, yeah, you like that? It's true. Anyone that knows her knows that that's a fitting description. So thank you, Judith.
Stare.
So well, not quite Swiss Army, the Hungarian Army knife. We should call it the Hungarian Army knife. The Hungarian Army knife. Yeah, no, I'm blessed. I'm lucky. I have a great team, team effort, but we just got the best people. Nick coming on, doing TNM commentary and all our big events. Paul, always on the broadcast, and, Nick and Paul both doing classes and Chess Cafe and just everything. Just lucky. Just and we all love working with each other and talking and hanging out, and what more could you ask? We just got great people all the way around, and we have a great chess community that we serve live and online, and it's just a great feeling just to be a part of all of that, and then along with the history of the building that we represent and the club and everyone that came before us. So it's just awesome. Great feeling all the way around.
Thanks, Alexi.
And thank you, Alexi, and everyone. And on that note, we will be back next Tuesday for the final 2 rounds of the Tuesday Night Marathon. But we're going to be back this Saturday as the Mechanics Institute will take on the Edinburgh Chess Club in the first match of our match against historic clubs from around the world. So 10 a.m. Pacific time.
And I'm reading a book set in Edinburgh.
Is that right?
Yeah, really fantastic book by a fantastic writer, Kate Atkinson. Steve Brandywine and I used to read her books.
And is the chess club in there?
No, no, no.
Well, that's okay. We'll you know.
But I'm thinking of Edinburgh.
All right, and then next Saturday we have our match May 1st against the oldest continuously running chess club in the world, the Zurich Chess Club, and Grandmaster Jim Tarjan will be leading us in that match. So
That's the following
the
Saturday.
following Saturday. So exciting chefs coming our way on Saturday mornings, starting this Saturday. So tune in. You'll hear about it. We'll be promoting it. So see everyone on Saturday, and we're gonna raid somebody. Let's you know what? Let's raid the Count, Christian Carilla, Grandmaster, good friend of ours, and we'll send the viewers his way. And see you on Saturday, everyone. Thank you
Bye.
thank you so much for hanging with us, and we will see you soon.
After the cartoons.